Good evening, Robins. Welcome to the 2023 End of Season Awards Night. We are coming to you live from the Doubletree Hilton Hull across YouTube. Great to have you with us. Welcome aboard. Tonight, we're delighted to welcome two very special guests and your award hosts for the evening. From Sky Sports, we'll be welcoming in just a moment John Wells and Jenna Brooks. But first, sit back, relax, and enjoy the story of our season so far.
It's been 6 months in the making for us to get over here, so we've been able to build a squad that we believe is going to be extremely competitive. But it's exciting times ahead. I'm really looking forward to getting started. We're going to pride ourselves on effort, world-class effort every week, and we compete to win in everything we do. That means at training, we're competing all the time. In games, there'll be no excuse for not competing with this football team. I know what the fans want. I've spoken to a lot of fans in the last couple of weeks, and they just want a football team they can be proud of, that doesn't give up and competes to the end. I know if we do that, we'll be in a good place.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the Robins!
Kenny Dowell challenges, gets the ball away. Brian Hall goes in for the opener for the Robins!
The game had a lot of moments in that game. We went through a lot of adversity, but what I was pleased about is that we've transferred what we've done in the pre-season into a game, and it was pleasing against a side like Wigan.
He's lost it. Chance for Rovers. Sam Wood. Try for Wood. That's the game for the Robins. Oh, the break with Lutelli. Oh, Charlie has gone on it for Lee.
Where we need to improve is, and we just spoke about it, is we're hurting ourselves. We just need a little bit of luck in terms of keeping some guys on the field, and we need to be better with our execution. We need to be better with our game management.
And bounce in the wind. Rovers have it. Jesse Sue. Oh, he's grounded just a metre short. What a start that would have been. And that's going to be a try. And all. That's the ball to Batchelor. Magic Mikey goes in for another. Destroying Hull FC. French, someone needs to make the tackle on him. Oh, he's gone through. Oh, and it's a pass to Farrell.
Wigan's, the club they are for a reason, and they show that tonight.
Ball spun up, it's Ryan Hall. Oh, he spun and scored as the big wingman. Really an option here to stab through. Oh, Salford have lost it. That's Rovers into the semi-final. The Challenge Cup holders against the Robins. 80 minutes to decide who gets to Wembley. Here is Mikey Lewis. Shot ball! Rovers going! Rovers going! Lewis Senior with the score! We're going to Golden Point in the semi-final. Schneider, 40 out. Rovers are going to Wembley! Again! Minchella has got support! We're going in! We're going in! Oh, yes! Liam Moore says, try! Lachlan Lamb has won the cup for Lee.
I keep saying I'm so proud of the players because we just kept fighting to the end. You got to celebrate the little wins along the way, and obviously it's a little win for us. We're not in this comp just to make semis. We obviously want to be there at the end. So we've got an opportunity to do that now. Certainly not getting carried away, but there's no doubt that this club wants to go and chase trophies, and we said that at the start of the year.
Please welcome onto the stage your host this evening, John Wells and Jenna Brooks.
So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2023 End of Season Awards Night. Now, I feel I need to correct something straight away because it's the end of the regular season only, because this is a club that's going to the playoffs,
Yay!
Jenna. That first match is going to be against Lee, which could well be at home if you guys go and do a job at Wakefield on Friday. Anyway, back to tonight, and it's an absolute pleasure for me and Jenna to be back here for a second straight year to help celebrate a fantastic season.
And if I can just start by saying how Chatters hasn't been picked up by Sky Sports yet, I will never, ever understand. But it's a new deal next year, so who knows? But yeah, as you said, it's been such a successful season. You mentioned the playoffs. Willie Peters, in his first year in charge of this great club, also led the men's team to Wembley in what really has to be one of the best seasons in the summer era. But we are so excited to be here, as you said, for a second year in a row, and it's almost time to get the party started.
It is, yeah. Willie Peters set his sights on the playoffs, taking them to a 6 Super League playoff campaign way back in February. And the group have achieved that and so much more. Now, injuries are part and parcel of this game, we know that, which makes the mid-season signings that the Robins made all that more inspired. And this now have, and it has to be said, in front of record home attendances all year as well. So congratulations on that as well.
Yeah, Craven Park is definitely one of our favourite grounds to attend, to go to what is still to come. So let's begin this wonderful evening.
Yeah, there is one man who we haven't heard from before at this event. Last year, he was here as a stadium sponsor. Fast forward 12 months, and he is now the chairman of Hull KR. So please, a warm welcome to the stage for Paul Sewell. Good evening, Paul. All yours.
That warm and generous introduction. I've had better, but we'll get over it. And for the warning, Jenna, the warning, you are indeed well researched. You know my background in football and construction and the penchant for colourful language. In fact, you've said to me that if there's any instance of colourful language here tonight, you would be extremely embarrassed and might even have to consider your position as hosts. Well, welcome to the farewell party. Because since joining Rovers, I can curse in 3 languages. I know the Antipodean for dickhead. It's dickhead. That's not a resignation adjective, by the way. I was once asked a question, what are the 2 most important days of your life? I got the first one right. It's the day you're born, because without that, nothing starts, does it? But the second, it's actually the day you find out why you were born. With me, it's business and running my own business. For my wife, it's rescuing animals at the animal welfare at South Cave. For many in this room, it's rugby league. And for some of our fans, it will be Hull. I saw that at the Wembley send-off. Craven Street was heaving, it was full of warmth, that lovely sunny day with the engagement and the interaction. But it was when Neil stopped the bus on Preston Road and stopped the traffic as well, so players could go and greet people in wheelchairs outside a residential home who couldn't get down to the ground to send them off at Craven Street. In that one moment, that captured for me what this club's all about and why I'm inordinately proud to be its chair. Most clubs claim the best fan in the world, but we need still know, don't we? A year ago, you're right, I was stood here as main sponsor, now as chair of a newly created board, And I can tell you that a year on, this club is immeasurably stronger, more sustainable and fit for the future than it has ever been. We're on an upward trajectory that's set. Yeah, we've been half decent this year, but we're going to be much, much stronger next year, and that means we all have to up our game. And that's the whole club in all of its activities. I absolutely love the one team image from pre-season. That's 300 players over 11 teams. Our women are champs and cup winners. Netball have now got into the top division. Our academy under Jason is strengthening all the time. There's investments in the staffing structure off the field in the close season, as well as in the stadium. You'll see lots of little things, or even big things like big screens and LEDs and stuff when we come back to Craven Park next year. I'm delighted that Connexin have extended the shirt sponsorship, and I want to thank all partners and sponsors, both in the room and at home, for their continued support. It is appreciated and it's never taken for granted. Our work and links in the community alongside our foundation will always be an optimum and priority for us, because it's what we are and it's what we do. Fingers crossed that work will be starting on a 3G pitch, a state-of-the-art 3G pitch at the rear of the stadium soon. We're still jumping through hoops on that one, but fingers crossed. And that will be mainly a community facility. It'll be great for the first team and the academy guys to train on, but it's a community facility. And there, then in our one team, is our staff. What a year they've had. The unseen yards they do is fantastic, because I've seen them myself this year. To see the work ethic of Willie's team being mimicked by Paul's staff is reassuring, and it's actually a massive building block for success, a work ethic all the way around. That week of 2 concerts and then a derby, the semi-final win gave them just 3 weeks to get ready for Wembley. So we could all go down to the capital and do the club and the city proud on the national stage. And I think we did. So many people remarked to me afterwards how classy as a club we were that weekend. And that's important, you know, win or lose, because class wins out in the end. There's a saying in sport, form is temporary, class is permanent, and that's the KR way. Finally, in our one team, I want to come back to the new board. I want to thank the super talented people who chose to come and join Neil and Paul and I at the turn of last year. So I make no apologies for mentioning them here. Ian Richardson, we thought we'd better have a top lawyer on board. David Kilburn, the best businessman I know, and now the best businessman the King knows, with his award of a CBE in the Summer Honours List. Andy Steele from 360 Accountants to keep the numbers straight. And Becky Outybridge, Director of Professional Services at the Sewell Group. She keeps us all straight. We're using her qualification from the KGB. And particularly James McNichol, son of former Chair Colin, who takes the time and energy from his global business to come back to East Hull to join Neil in a very special place. A special place as 2 young boys in Rovers shirts, gaining aspiration and esteem at the success of the Robins back in the day, which helped them believe that great things were possible for a kid who comes from East Hull. And God, did they prove that. That's like social mobility to die for. I was once stood in a room when the person stood where I am, asked everybody to close their eyes and point where they thought was north. And when we opened our eyes, everybody was pointing all over the place. He said that was like the energy in most organisations dissipated. But if you could get all to point north where success lies, like here at Hull Kingston Rovers, if we can get the boardroom and the staff and the dressing room and the fans and the sponsors and the partners and the community pointing in the same direction, success is inevitable. That's the plan. And nights like this are part of the implementation of that plan. Our original objective a year ago, as now, was to be a sustainably top 4 club in everything we did. History told us that that was maybe a bit unlikely as the old Hull Kingston Rovers. So the strategy was to become the new Hull Kingston Rovers, keeping the soul and the values and the community feel, but modernising. The Russians by America putting a man on the moon and returning him back to Earth before the end of the decade, i.e. 1970. It was a tall order, even pie in the sky, and he knew it. But a couple of years later, to point north. Personal highlight of the year. It happened in the south of France at a golf resort just outside Perpignan. The boys were preparing for the Catalans game and I decided to go for a swim. And there was only one other person in the pool, so I thought it was a dumb thing to paddle up and introduce myself to a Rovers player I didn't really recognise. He said his name was Matty Staunton and he seemed a nice kid. So we had a talk. And I asked him what was the best thing about being at Hull Kingston Rovers. And he said just 2 words: no arseholes. Which I think is West Riding for dickheads. I'm not sure. And I did reflect. Life just doesn't get any better than being in the south of France in a pool with Matty Staunton, does it? I think the best thing about being at Hull Kingston Rovers is you lot. So thank you for listening, and I got more than a little respect for you. Thank you.
How about that? Not an arsehole in the room. There you go. I think it's fair to say, though, that the club is in very safe hands with Paul, so thank you so much. But it is time now for the first award of the night, and we're starting with an important one. It's important to the players because it's voted for by the members. It's time for the 2023 Keepmoat Members Player of the Season Award. And to present the award, please welcome to the stage Sales Manager from Keepmoat, Louise Walker. Have been voting all week. So, Louise, please, will you do?
The winner of the 2023 Keepmoat Members Player of the Season is John Kenny Dowell.
Ball to Kenny Dowell. Kenny Dowell. Can he slide over? The answer is yes.
Al, congratulations. To win this award in your final year playing here, it must mean a lot.
Yeah, it means so much to me. Obviously, been here for 4 years now, and the members and the fans are the heartbeat of this club. So, it's been an honour to play in front of you guys over the last 4 years, and you've really made me feel at home throughout that time.
Focusing on the 2023 season, how would you sum that up, and how would you, I suppose, rate your own performance so far in? There's still a little bit to go.
It's been, there's been some highs and lows, but all around, very proud of the boys' performances, and we're full focus for, the back end of the year, and there's still plenty of rugby to be played. So, that's our main focus going ahead.
I have no doubt that we'll probably see you a little bit later this evening. But ladies and gentlemen, Sean Kenny-Dowell, your 2023 Keepmoat Members Player of the Season.
Now then, our next award is the Hull KR Foundation Community Player of the Season. It's new for 2023 and is in recognition for the work done which, whilst off the pitch, is integral to the success of the club and its connection to the people of this city. To present the award, please welcome to the stage the CEO of the Hull KR Foundation, Craig Shepherd.
With ancient love and the walls they listen. Down in the cuckoo club, there ain't no liberty. It's a constant rave at the lone.
Good evening, Craig. Thanks for joining us. How much of an impact in the community does the work that the players do have?
It's fantastic. Everything we ask of the players, they turn up, they make appearances. Every time we ask them to attend a school, or every time we ask them to attend a session, they turn up with big smiles on their faces. They engage the young people, the older people, and everything in between. They're just fantastic here at this club. And I've experienced it at other clubs too. The players are just fantastic tools.
And without giving their name away just yet, can you tell us why this particular player has won the award this year?
Yeah, I can. So the story is, very rarely do we get phone calls, particularly 3 phone calls from the same school or organisation, telling us what an amazing experience they had with a particular player who made an appearance for us. And in this particular instance, it was a school. They had their end-of-year awards, and they were presenting some awards to some of their students based on their achievements. And this player performed tremendously, representing Hull Kingston Rovers. So I'm proud to be presenting this award to them tonight.
Go for it. Take it away.
So the Community Player of the Year is Sam Luckley.
Hi Sam, welcome to the stage.
Canny few people in here, aren't there? Jesus.
Sam, for those who are watching the video, clearly a deserving winner of this award. What motivates you to do that extra work? It's not in the contract, it's not in the standard RL contract. What motivates you to do the extra work that you do?
I just think as rugby players, we're in a bit of a privileged position to do what we love. And being in a sports team, you're kind of thrust into the public eye. You know, you might be a role model to someone, or someone might just be a bit of a fan favourite, you know. And you've got the opportunity then to make someone's day or just do something positive in the community. And I think, you know, I could stand here and waffle all day, but it's just nice to be nice, isn't it? And if you've... Cheers. Sure. Oh, mate, I'll let you.
Your first season at Hull KR has been a success for you on the field as well. I was going through the stats earlier today. You've become a mainstay of this first team, missed just 2 Super League games all year. You must be incredibly pleased with yourself.
Knackered, I think.
Look it.
Yeah, it's been a great first year so far. You know, I wouldn't be here without the boys, or, you know, we talk about it all the time, but what a group we've got. I've been involved with teams before, and I don't think I've ever been part of a group where everyone's each other's best mate. No arseholes, as we say, but there's no egos or nothing. Everyone works for each other, and it's just something that I'm proud to be a part of, and to play my part in that. It's something that's really rewarding for myself and feels special.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Hull KR Foundation Community Player of the Season, Sam Lockley.
It's been another big year for the Hull KR Academy with Louis Gorman, Leo Tennyson and Lenny Ellis coming through the ranks to make their first team debuts against the Wigan Warriors in round 21. Attracting, developing and giving opportunities to local young talent is core to the club's ethos and strategy moving forward. Let's take a look at how the Academy have got on this year.
It was really tough when we started. A lot of the boys waking up at 4:30 to come in. It really prepared us for the season, I think. Mental toughness was something that we wanted to bring to the season. Especially last year, we didn't start as strong as I think we wanted to, but starting with the Monday morning sessions, coming in, the intensity was there straight away, and it allowed us to work straight into the games with no let off really. Changing head coaches was definitely very tough. We saw a big change in how we wanted to play, but I think the main pillars of effort and working for each other, that stayed within the team, so it allowed us to get like the little wins, like Lenny getting in the first Yorkshire squad, and then myself, Zach and a few others getting in for the last 2 games. It really showed how well the team had come on and pushed through in that adversity. Getting to play against a really tough Wigan side, it shows you what Super League is going to be like, and shows us what we need to be like to push to that next level and go even further with our careers.
It's a big change, and obviously it's what you aspire to do coming through the academy, so it's one of them. All the coaching staff have helped you, get through there, pushed you up and whatnot, and obviously, yeah, loved it.
The young lads have come in, and it's like they've been with them for a good few weeks, they know where they should be, their roles in the team. And as you said, yeah, I was lucky enough to play with my younger brother for the first time ever, which was a privilege in itself.
We've seen Barney, Frankie and Alfie, they've all come through, and they brought physicality, which I think they didn't expect to see. Might have been a shock to a lot of them, but they matched what we needed, and we got the win against London. So yeah, next year I think the academy will be doing very, very well.
And to present the 2023 Paintwork Express Academy Player of the Season, please welcome the Director of Paintwork Express, Marcus Norrison. Welcome to...
Privilege to announce the 2023 Paintwork Express Academy Player of the Season 2023.
The stage is yours.
All right, let's say a few words about it. Yeah, I mean, I kind of got in late in the late at the pre-season. Really privileged to be associated with the youngsters coming through. You know, the people, the grassroots coming through. Everybody wants to be them. Everyone wants to wear the shirt. I know I did, and some of my friends did as well. So to be associated with that, to see the level of professionalism, the whole team does, from coach down to the training staff to the lads, is testament to where the club is actually going. And I feel really proud to be part of that. And it's nice to be part of that momentum going forwards. Really good.
Announce the winner.
I certainly will. And the winner is Lenny Ellis.
Never met on your mind, guess what? When I was young, the queue was long, the place was for all their first ones. Sick and tired of all these sticky dance floors in the bounces outside where everyone's in and for.
Annie, let's go back to round 21. You get the nod. You know you're about to run out and take on the Wigan Warriors. Your first thought?
Shocked, honestly. It's one of them things you don't expect to do. At the start of the season, if you'd have said to me, I'd have made my Super League debut, done a lot of the things like getting this award as well. I'd have just laughed at you and I'd have thought, nah, you're joking. So yeah, it's mad.
Can you talk a little bit about the experience when you were on the pitch? What was the biggest surprise? Was it easier? Was it harder than anticipated?
Honestly, I had that much adrenaline running through me. I just sort of like everything had zoned out. It was tough, but I loved every minute of it.
What are your goals? What are your goals for the future?
Just to play as many Super League games as I can. Obviously, want to stay at this club, do everyone proud, stay in the team and whatnot, so yeah.
Marcus, thank you very much. Everybody, Lenny, congratulations. You are the Academy Player of the Year.
We were going through rehearsals earlier and we were taking it in turns to ask the questions and answer the questions. And we got to this one and we said, what do you think the Academy player's answer would be? And to a word, the third answer is exactly the same. What are your goals for the future? Play as many games for the first team as possible. That's a great sign.
So lucky Willie Peters is in the room. Are you listening?
Now, once again, 2023 has seen the continued progression of many of the club's younger talent, as we've just seen, with some taking their first team bows. So, it is now time for the 2023 CB Solutions Young Player of the Year. And to present this award, please welcome to the stage the Commercial Director of CB Solutions, John Clark. Good evening, John. Could you do the honours, please, and reveal the winner of the 2023 CB Solutions Young Player of the Year Award?
I can indeed. The Young Player of the Year Award is Louis Gorman.
We could touch the sky.
Louis, congratulations. Last year you represented Ireland. This year you played for the Academy Origin for Yorkshire. How have those experiences been?
They've been really good, yeah. Came out of the Ireland World Cup camp. I got a bit of experience there, and I'm really grateful to have been able to be alongside some of the pros there, like Louis and Ethan in here today. Yeah, really valuable experience. It's stood me good coming into the first team environment this year.
And you provide a great example for the individual who's just won the previous award, because last year you won the Academy Player of the Season, so Lenny's got a good blueprint to follow there. How have you found the step up to play in the reserves and being in and around that first team, as you say?
Yeah, it's been a really great experience, really. Under people like Sean and Tom in the centres, that's what I'm playing at the minute. Yeah, really good role models for me and people I look up to, for the experience that I can hopefully bring into my future career.
Yeah, final question will be very similar to the final question last time. Hopes and aspirations for the next 12 months. You've gone from academy to young player. What's next in your mind?
Just like Lenny, I want to play as many games as I can. I'll take minutes anywhere and everywhere, so wherever I can, I'll play.
Well, we wish you all the very best. Obviously, a bright future ahead. Louis, thank you and congratulations. You are the Young Player of the Year for Hull KR for 2023.
Hull KR women's team continues to go from strength to strength. This year, they got their hands on some silverware in the RFL League Cup and have also, I've just been told tonight, won the RFL Championship. So a big congratulations to the women's team. So there is so much to look forward to, so much happening around the club. Let's check in on the women and see the story of their season.
I think it speaks for itself, really, the results and the results we're turning out every week. But I think we did anticipate what was going to happen this year because of the hard work all the ladies have put in, and obviously all the coaching staff and people behind it.
In pre-season, I think we started really strong. So all the coaching staff really drilled it into us, how important this season needed to be to obviously set us a platform for next season.
To have won some of the important games like the League Cup and stuff like that, I think it does just speak for itself, the hard work that the ladies and everyone's been putting in.
That cup is something that we've missed out on the last 2 years. We've lost in the semi-finals for the previous 2 years of the League Cup. Obviously we went one step further by getting to the final, and then we've gone a step beyond that by actually winning the competition this year, which is, it's just rewards for the efforts that they have put in so far, and it's become tick box 1 of 3 that they've set themselves this year. When we realised and found out that the RFL was remodelling the way the women's game is going to look, and Super League was going to become a 1 league system instead of 2, which meant we wouldn't be able to be promoted this year regardless of on-field outcomes, on-field results. We set some in-house goals of A, winning the League Cup, B, finishing top of the table, and C, getting to the grand final, and we've ticked 1 off. We're sat top of the table as it stands right now, and that will give us a home draw in the semi-final of the playoffs, which then hopefully will kick-start us in the post-season games and get us to the grand final this year.
So to present the 2023 Acklam's Women's Player of the Season, please welcome onto the stage from Acklam's coaches, Operations Trainee Ryan Woodling. Good, I love your work. Ryan, will you do the honours and reveal who the winner is?
Lewis Brown.
congratulations. The player of the season, it's quite the accolade.
A bit shocked. I think a lot of the girls this season had some of the best seasons, so when Ben told me it was me, shocked but really grateful, and obviously grateful to be here tonight. A bit different for the women, so grateful.
It is exciting though, and from listening to that video, I mean, the future certainly looks very bright for Hull KR, for the women's team.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the game, obviously the women's games is going in the right direction. A little bit disappointed with getting told halfway through the season that even if we win, then we're staying in championship, but I think it's going to be good for us and the girls coming from the under-16s, and we just keep working and keep pushing hard.
On that, what is the focus then moving forward?
Just keep building the squad. Like I say, keep pushing the girls from the 16s and the 18s into the women's squad. We're still quite young, not me, I'm one of the oldest, but I feel like I'm on the back end of my career, but yeah, a lot of girls coming through, and we just keep moving forward, keep winning.
Keep winning. That is the mentality of this club, isn't it? Lois Brown, we look forward to seeing Hull KR in the Women's Super League in the not too distant future. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, Lois Brown, the player of the season.
Now we're about to take a short pause in proceedings, but before we do, let's explain how you can get involved in the voting tonight. One of our upcoming awards will be the 2023 Gold Try of the Season Award. Now voting can still be done online through the Gold app. You could scan the QR code, which should be on our screen very quickly, and then from there you can download the app and get involved. There we go. That's a QR code. I had to learn what that was from my teenage daughters.
I can tell you, Hull KR, so far this season in Super League, have scored 92 tries, in my opinion, and it's only my opinion. Nobody seems to care. But I do have to say that Ryan Hall's try just last weekend against Salford, which of course secured Hull KR's place in the playoffs, is one of my picks. But as I said, that's just my opinion. It's down to you guys, so get voting. But right now we are going to take a very short 5-minute break. Don't go too far.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome onto the pitch, the mighty Red Robins!
Yeah, welcome back, everyone. We're going to get things underway again very soon. Hold on to those dear raffle tickets of yours as you patiently wait for the numbers. Keep them safe a little bit longer. We're going to put them on the screen towards the very end of the night. That's one way of keeping you in the house till the very end. So the raffle tickets on the screen towards the very end of the night. Right, please settle down. I'm going to introduce John and Jenna back to the stage. We're going to go live again online. So please give them a massive cheer so everyone can hear you at home. Please welcome back your hosts, John Wells and Jenna Brooks.
Yes, welcome back to the 2023 end of season awards night. We are coming to you live from the Doubletree here in Hull.
Now, this is also your final call to vote. I nearly forgot my lines then. For the 2023 Gold Try of the Season Award. So if you haven't voted yet, head across to the Gold app now.
And whilst you do that, there is a very special man in the room who is on an incredible journey. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for your head coach, Willie Peters. Before we get into the serious chat, there's a question I have been meaning to ask you, well, since you arrived earlier this year. Brian Carney makes out like you're his best friend, but is he yours?
Not really.
No.
Don't tell him.
No, I won't promise.
Don't tell him.
We're not going live, are we? We are.
Hello,
on
Brian.
YouTube.
He won't be watching. He's an FC fan. Willie, you take Ulkaya to Wembley for the first time since 2015. Your team's made the playoffs, and all in your first year as a head coach. You must be a pretty happy man.
Yeah, it's been an unbelievable season so far. This is not where we want to be. We're on a journey. There's no doubt about that. Obviously, seen the Wembley pictures and the videos before. Sure, all the players are hurting. I was hurting, so it's important because it means that we care and we don't want to finish second best. So, as much as we're enjoying the season so far, there's still a lot that we want to achieve. It started back in pre-season. We're the first team to come back and challenge the players around just working hard for each other. And the most pleasing part for me and the thing I'm most proud about is people walk into a room and they can see how connected the players are. They'll go for coffees together, they go for lunches together, probably drink a lot of beers together, but that's what it's all about. The connection that they've got is so evident for people to see.
I know you've got these high aspirations, and when we spoke at the start of the season, you had these goals, but to achieve what you've already achieved in your first year, did you really anticipate that you were going to do all of this in your very first year?
When you look at a team that we have, look at the senior players, and I'm blessed to have the senior players that I do have. A couple of years ago, I identified, 10 years ago, I said to my wife that I wanted to come to the Super League and coach one day. So you're in or you're out, and lucky she said she was in, so she's here. But firstly, really thankful for my family support, firstly to come over and support me. But when I came over, or before I come over, I looked at the squad and I looked at the team, and there's a great balance of senior players. I think I've got the best senior player group in the comp. And then you look at your youth, obviously Jez Litton, Mikey Lewis, players like that you go, okay, well, you've got the senior players that know how to win, and also after a loss, they know how to recover from a loss. And I think, again, it's pretty evident from Wembley that we've recovered well. But a lot of that comes down to the leaders that I've got in my team.
So with that in mind then, and the research you'd done before you came, was there a point or a moment in 2023 when you thought this this is a team that can not just compete against the big boys, but can win those big games regularly. I mean, for me, you put everybody on notice in round one with that victory over Wigan.
It was a game we played in France. We played Catalans, and we had, I think it was 4 HIAs. We got beat 26-12 or something, and you know, the experts were saying that we got pumped basically. And for me, I looked at that game as that was the game that I probably went, we can actually do something here, because any other team, or most other teams, should I say, would have got beat by 50 over in Catalans, and that was the moment that I said, we've got a team here. We've got a team that doesn't give up. And I knew that before it came, or the start of the season, but we weren't consistent with it. And we've had our moments this year, but that was probably the game that I thought, there's a tough team here. And when you've got a tough team that want to work hard for each other, you can do some special things. So, you know, we obviously went on and went to Wembley and fell short there. But like everything, you get your learnings through experience. And the players have certainly learnt from that game, and we've bounced back and, you know, put ourselves in a really strong position.
So be honest with this one. Do you feel that Hull KR have lived up to your expectations or exceeded them?
Oh, a bit of both. I think, you know, at the start of the year, most people had us down the bottom. Paul Lake, there was a lot. The bookies had us down the bottom. Some experts had us down the bottom. But, you know, Paul and I were in regular contact. Pretty much we talked 20 times a day, and we did that in Australia. You know, we believed in the team that we had. And then, as I said, once I went to Tenerife, once I saw the connection with the team, and then saw a few games, I thought, well, we can do something here. But, you know, I don't say this arrogantly, or, you know, but we're only just getting started. Like, this is just the start of things. We'll have another strong pre-season, and we'll build, and we'll be better for it.
Just finally from me, I just want to reference the people that work behind the scenes that aren't necessarily in the limelight. You know, you've got your Sue Thompson, Alan Fellows. How vital are people like that to this club's success?
They're the heart and soul. They're the people that teach me what this club's all about. You know, I know Ant's been mentioned, our groundsman. Obviously, you mentioned Sue there, and Bonesy. They've educated me on what this club's about. I'm a first-year coach coming into a place where I'd be lying if I really knew the soul, or, you know, the heart and soul of this place. But they've educated me on what it's about. You've heard from Paul Sewell and Neil, who's our owner. We've got good people in the club, and that's what this club's about. But, you know, like you say, we've got special people here. But I want to thank my staff. I want to thank, you know, all the players. You know, have helped support me this year. I want to thank the partners, because you've got to put up with us, and it's not an easy ride. It's ups and downs, and you go through a lot of roller coasters. I'm sure the boys at home aren't angels like myself, but, you know, they're a big part of what we're doing as well. So I appreciate you guys.
Sorry, just one more question from me. Sorry. I only get a minute 30 with you pre and post. So if you had one word to describe your team, what is it?
I'd go back to connected. Yeah, we're a connected footy team, on the field and off the field.
Ladies and gentlemen, your head coach, Willie Peters.
Jeez, he speaks well. He's got a lot longer answers. Do you remember when we were interviewing when he first came over? We had to have 7 questions ready to... No, it's probably worth mentioning at this point, actually, that all the music that you've heard and that you will hear tonight as the players come up and leave are all from local and up-and-coming bands who have played at the stadium and in Craven Street this season. And they have been a huge part, Jenna, in creating what has been an atmosphere I know we really, really enjoy when we're with Sky Sports coming. And that plays a huge part in it. Massive amounts of fun being had,
yeah,
clearly.
I said it before, and I'll say it again. I think I said it last year as well. Craven Street, I mean, I get upset because I can't go in and have a beer. Maybe one day I will be able to, but it looks like a lot of fun. So a round of applause for that, because it looks unreal.
Okay, time for our next award then, and it is time to find out who has won the DNS Tackle of the Season. And to present the award, please welcome onto the stage the owner of DNS, Trevor Jessup. Now, Trevor, before we announce the winner, hold your horses. Well, let's hear from head coach Willie Peters, on the importance of this award. Take a look at the screen.
The whole KR way is all around world-class effort and competing to win. So what we wanted to do was get a board just based around the actions, or the best actions that replicate the whole KR way. You know, it could be diving on a loose ball, could be making a try-saving tackle, you know, it could be supporting a teammate, doing something that's based around choice. It's all based around effort, it's all based around competing, and it's who we are as a club. We work hard for each other, and as I say, it's a board that we want to get as many players up as possible.
Can you please reveal who the winner is?
The 2023 Tackle of the Season goes to Mikey Lewis.
The back of the queue where the only thing inside was you, and 200 people I never met on your marks, yes sir. When I was young, the queue was long, the place was full of Air Force Ones.
Now, Mikey, before we talk to you, let's see that winning tackle and what, again, the head coach, Willie Peters, had to say about it.
Winner that we're going to go with is Mikey Lewis against Castleford. He's made a try-saving tackle in the corner, but the effort and the competing to win to stop the try. It was 34-16, we're in front with 5 minutes to go. So it didn't really matter on the scoreboard if Mikey let that try in to some people, but it mattered to him and it mattered to whole KR in terms of what we're all about. So, you know, he came up with a massive play, and again, it was based around competing to win, and he made the choice that he wanted to stop the try.
Now, Mikey, we know you to be a young, gifted, incredibly talented, attacking ball player and runner. So I've got 2 questions. What on earth were you doing there? And just how important are those moments, the other side of the ball, to you?
Yeah, so I was playing fullback then. Yeah, just doing my job. As a fullback, you know, I got thrown in the deep end in the semi-final. You know, and then I was lucky enough to do it again. But like you say, I was just getting around the back and, as Willie called it, kelping. And yeah, just doing my job.
You mentioned the switching positions, which you've done, and moving to fullback is a daunting proposition. Has it helped kind of round out your knowledge about where other players should be positionally in your preferred position in the halves?
Yeah, 100%. I think you get a different aspect of the position, and you know, playing the Challenge Cup final and all the other games at a different position what I've been brought up. But you know, it's a position where, you know, if I got called up there, I'd back myself to do it. And yeah, definitely now going back to playing halfback, you know, you see how much running you have to do. Can't believe it. But you know, yeah, I really enjoyed that role.
Well, congratulations. It's been lovely to speak to you, and good luck for round 27 and beyond. Magic Mikey Lewis, everybody.
Well, you've all been voting through the Gold app for your try of the season. So please welcome the Operations Director of Gold, Chris Gray. Chris, now before you reveal the winner, let's just have a look at the nominees.
And Mikey Lewis out wide. Skids to Ryan Hall. We've got them again. Mikey Lewis! Magic Mikey! Goes in for another! Destroying Hull FC! Absolutely destroying them! Met there by the tackle of Minchella. Connor floats one. Ryan Hall with the take. Oh, Ryan Hall! Can he roll back the ears, Ryan Hall? He's got about 50 to go. Huddersfield are chasing back. They will not catch Ryan Hall. He slides in the left-hand corner. Almost broke the two-man tackle there. Had he done so, the line would have been beckoning. Lytton, Rovers keep it alive. What a ball that was! What a ball! Defenders' minds with late footwork. Minchella dummies and goes. Pape can't wrap him up. Minchella has got some Lytton with the try for Rovers underneath the uprights. Jez Lytton.
Chris, before you open that, who would you have picked?
Well, obviously, any try in red and white's a good try in it, so I don't know who I'd picked. I think our table want Ryan Hall, try B, so I'd go try B.
Well, let's see if you're right.
Met there by the top.
See it.
Ryan Hall with the take.
Right. Oh, well, sorry about that, guys. Looking at for our table then, it's try B, Ryan Hall.
Huddersfield are chasing back. They will not catch Ryan Hall. He slides in the left-hand corner.
I was afraid of the pain. I was afraid to have faith. You had tears in your eyes when you were told not to cry.
Ryan Hall, congratulations. Do you remember what round that was? Come on, you're good with numbers.
I'll be guessing 6.
No, 11. Do you remember the score?
28-0.
I did notice, though, about 5 metres before the line, you slid. Was that because you thought you might get run down?
No, I think the main reason I've won this is kind of answering your question as well. It's because I don't think anyone expected me to be able to still run 90 metres. So it was, I made it 80 by sliding for 10.
Oh, too good. What is one of the key ingredients to scoring a try like that?
Well, you just get it.
Thing that you use back and just going?
You just look at the corner flag and go for it.
Talk to us about the positioning. So Huddersfield in possession as a winger. What are you doing on the end of that line? What are you looking? What are the cues that you're looking for?
It was Jake Connor who was the man who threw the ball, and we all know he likes that play. He likes the big cut-out ball to the winger. So during the week you got to look at what he does and what their halfbacks do, and he throws that more often than not. So you've got to, as a winger, yourself will know you've got to be in between your centre and winger, and that's what I did. It was a wet night, and it probably came out of his hands not the best, so it was a nice lofty one for me, so it gave me time to get there. And then it was an open field. Talk about positioning. I like to be negative. Everyone, in the squad knows that I'm Mr. Negative. I'll flip it a little bit and talk about Huddersfield. It's their positioning. What wasn't very good allowed me to keep going. Louis' brother. On the other wing there, he should have been doing a bit of, we call it pendulum, and he didn't do that, so it allowed me to keep going.
Your honesty will never get old. Thank you so much. We hope to see many more tries like that before the end of this year. I'm sure Danny Maguire probably not so much. But ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Hall, who has scored the try of the season.
Thanks, Ryan.
I will try to make it right. Let me give you one more reason not to leave. I will never lie.
Okay, the next award is often the one most coveted by the players because it is voted for by the players, by their peers. It is the Players' Player of the Season, sponsored again for 2023 by Richardson's Food and Safety Consulting. Now, we have a short list of 3 players. So to tell us who they are, please welcome to the stage Managing Director of Richardson's Food and Safety Consulting, Mark Richardson, and club president Mike Smith.
It's the sound of the night. Bodies are burning and moving in time. With energy rising, we can feel it divine. We're moving as one when spirits combine. The passion is building and climbing so high. Strangers and the lovers like partners in crime. Hands in the air, we'll be holding the sky. 'Cause I'm dancing to the sound of the night. And it sounds like this. Na 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 na. I love it when your body's on mine. And it feels like this. Na 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 na.
Good evening, gents. Now, before we start giving away any winners, I wanted to have a look at three Robins that have been singled out for special recognition by the teammates. But before they're announced, to hear from the larger group about the attributes a player needs to take a prize like this. Once again, take a look at the screen.
I think it's the stuff that goes unnoticed to the general public kind of thing. It's stuff that when you're 20, 30 minutes into a game and everyone's under fatigue, it's that fella who steps up in the tough moments and puts his hand up to take a tough carry, or someone who goes and puts kick pressure on, which, you know, might not be seen as a big important player, but for us as players, that's massive. It helps massively. So yeah, I think someone being tough is what I look for in my Players Player of the Year pick.
You're with your peers, obviously, your players every day. You're out there, out on the field, you know, in the heat of the battle with your players, and so to get recognition off them that you've done a good job this year, and you know, it's absolutely a huge achievement to have.
I see a lot of the things, you know, on and off the field on a day-to-day basis that other people probably miss or probably are not privy to seeing. So it's really big from that point of view, and the respect that you get from the people, you know, that you spend every day with. I think it's a massive honour. I just sort of look for the people who does everything for everyone else, who makes everyone else's job a lot easier, and who the team probably won't be the same without.
I just think, you know, it's a person that you can rely on every week. The player that, you know, we all want to play with, that you know is going to do the job, does all the little things really well, like consistently throughout the year, that you look across and you feel safer, you know, for playing next to that person. And like I said, that you know, you're just going to do the job for the team every week.
Okay, Mark.
Woo!
Mark, will you do the honours and reveal who was voted in third place?
In third place, Ryan Hall.
Gets the ball away. Ryan Hall goes in. Put it out there for the Robins. Oh, spun up, it's Ryan Hall. Oh, he spun up, scored as the big wingman. Goes to Lewis. There's Hawley. Hawley for the corner. Yes! Ryan Hall finishes. You will not catch Ryan Hall. He slides in the left-hand corner.
Now, Ryan, before we hear from you, let's go to Mike and find out who has been voted in second.
In second place, for the work he does on and off the field, and a great leader, Sean Kenny Dow.
Yes! Yes! Sean Kenny Dow! Kenny Dowell will go in, too big, too strong.
Okay, Mark, finally, could you do the honours and let us know who the winner is, please?
I certainly can, John. And there is nothing mini about this player. It's Elliot Binchella! Woo!
now, he's got Coop with him. Coop fires it to Michelle! Press ball. Michelle!
Elliot, many congratulations on the award. Now, having won Players' Player previously here in 2020, if I'm correct, and before that at Bradford in 2019 and 2018, you are either a man that everybody massively values as a teammate, or you know where the bodies are buried, son. Which one is it?
I just buy a lot of coffees for the boys. That's my. That's why I get them. Or beers.
Right. Okay, this could get awkward, but I'm interested in who you two voted for.
Yeah, I voted for Minnie. I think his video, when he was, the intro video, when he was describing what he believes, is valued by other players, I think he described himself really, really well. Obviously, that's why I voted for him as well.
Yeah, I voted for Minnie too. Just with, I think he's been probably the most consistent player all year. He shows up every week. He's a leader on and off the field, and he's got great skills too. He gets the forwards around the middle of the park, and he does all those little efforts that we all marvel at.
Okay, so that wasn't so awkward, but this could be awkward. Who did you vote for?
I voted for these two, yeah.
Oh.
Honestly, you wouldn't believe it. That's it.
And that sort of nonsense is why you win the Players' Player of the Year, yeah. Elliot, there's one round to go, which will be your 70th appearance for Hull KR, and then it's knockout rugby for the Robins, and 2 wins away from gracing the field at Old Trafford. Now, this looks from the outside to people like me and Jenna like a team that's very much ready to take that next step. What's it like on the inside?
Yeah, we're confident in our own ability. I think we're building some momentum coming into the business end of the year, and yeah, we're confident, but we're also very grounded. We've got a lot of work to do. I think Saturday night's performance showed that. I thought our attack was a bit off, but like what's been the common theme for the night, we've got an awesome work ethic for one another, and when you've got that in a team, we can do what we want to do, and I think we've got to nail a few things with the ball, but bottle up that work ethic and see where we end up.
Ladies and gentlemen, your nominees Ryan Hall and Sean Kenny-Dowell, and the winner of the 2023 Players' Player of the Year, Elliot Minchella.
It's now time for the presentation of an award that, in fact, hasn't been awarded for a number of years, because it's an award that is kept back for a very special occasion or a very special person. It's the Colin Hutton Outstanding Achievement Award. To present the award, please welcome onto the stage Colin's daughter, Sue Hutton. Will you do the honours, Sue?
The winner is Sean Kenny-Dowell.
You'll see it, 'cause maybe you'll smile, or maybe you'll lace it. Screenshots of your mates is what I deserve, or it's what I created. You'll know about another scroll. So I've not slept, didn't know I was supposed to, since I was in my bed. I'm still just scrolling on through, and I just like your picture from 36 weeks ago. Well, I've not slept, didn't know I was supposed to, since I was in my bed. And I'm still just scrolling on through, and I just like your picture from 36 weeks ago. You're gonna know, you're gonna know, you're gonna know, I know.
I mean, kids, they could have put you at one of the front tables, really, couldn't they? Instead of having to... Okay, listen, this is your club. This is your award. You take the mic.
It's just, it's a massive honour to represent this club. I think we've spoken a lot today about the impact that we have on the community, and like Matty said, there's no arseholes, and there's great people. And coming here over the last 4 years, I've really got to understand about what it means to be a Robin, the people that we represent, and the jersey that we get to wear every weekend. And I can honestly say it's been one of the great honours of my life to lead this club out week in, week out. And yeah, I just want to say, a massive thank you to Neil giving me an opportunity 4 years ago. I was probably towards the back end of my career, but it's been some of the most rewarding years of my life coming over to the UK, and I want to give a special, thank you to my fiance for, supporting me. I've just keep going one more year, and that's dragged out for another year, unfortunately. So. Yeah, like I said, it's a massive honour to win this award. In the name of Colin Hutton. I know how the work that he did here over a number of years. So that's a massive honour as well. So thank you very much.
Just before you do step off stage, I have to ask, in I suppose our opinion, you're still playing some of the best rugby that you've ever played. Why are you hanging up your boots? I know you mentioned your fiancé. How much does it have to do with that pre-season torture from your head coach?
No, it was a pretty easy decision. Like Neil said, it's the club's given me a massive opportunity to transition into life after rugby, and I think I'm really ready for the next phase of my life. And I'm starting at the bottom again, but I've got a great coach in Willie, and you could really feel that they believed in me and wanted me to stick around. And I think what the club's given me, it's only rewarding that I stay on and keep passing on my knowledge and helping the next generation come through.
What are your goals in that next phase?
I just want to keep learning, keep growing and evolving, and giving back to the club, and like I said, learning as much as I can from the coaching staff and the great people that are leading this club forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is your captain who is retiring at the end of this season, hopefully after lifting the trophy at Old Trafford, Sean Kenny-Dowell.
One of the best overseas signings in the last 10 years, in my opinion, and that's across Super League. Okay, it's now nearly time for the main award of the evening, but first, it's time to look back at some parts of the season that didn't quite...
And give it everything for the role.
No, to yellow. Said he was a clown.
Hey Red Army, it's Corey Hall here. Absolutely love the
Thank you very much, guys. Honestly, you've been absolutely huge. Oh, start again.
We need a fade. I'm just trying to make sure I don't look bald.
See, live TV isn't easy, is it?
Absolutely. I would know better than most,
know.
yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is the moment we've all been waiting for, the climax of the evening. It is time for the 2023 Roger Millward Player of the Season Award, presented this year by the Pat Foundation.
Yep, named after the greatest ever Robin, Roger Millwood, and we are so pleased to be in the company of Roger's family again this year.
This prestigious award is voted for, just so you're all aware, all of the coaching staff and the board of directors.
So to present the Pat Foundation 2023 Roger Millwood Player of the Season Award, please welcome on stage from Sewell Group, Tim Wigglesworth, founder of Connexon, Furkan Algamir, and director of the Pat Foundation, Andy Steele.
Good evening, gents. Before we announce the winners of the final award of the evening, Andy, please could you say a few words on who the Pat Foundation are and what they do?
I can, John, and I'll certainly try not to swear because it's live on TV, all right? The Pat Foundation is a UK charity that focuses on reforestation and woodland creation. We've planted 3.5 million trees in 11 countries now. And most recently, we've taken over a nursery just outside of Hull, Preston, and where we're growing trees, obviously, and bedding plants, but more so than that, we're now an NOCN accredited training centre. We're doing nature-based therapy, horticultural training as well. More recently, we've focused on training veterans, training them to work in the land-based sector, woodland management, and we're putting them to work doing tree surgery, fencing, grounds maintenance, as some of the guys know. And the main reason for doing that is because it tackles mental health and wellness. And for the guys suffering from PTSD, it's a perfect environment to work in.
Wow, that sounds like a fantastic legacy.
You've sponsored the event this year. How are you planning on working with the club in the future?
So it's a recent collaboration. We're looking to launch a memorial garden with the club, and that's where people can plant a memorial tree in memory of a loved one and intern their ashes at Craven Park. I think the club will make an announcement tomorrow, Craig. There's an email going out to all the members for people who want to register their interest.
Wow, that sounds amazing. And well, before we find out the winner, let's see who you all think should be crowned the champion this year.
I'm going for Sean Kenny-Down, at the team, legend. He's done everything that he needed to do for the club, and it's turned us around.
It's got to be Kenny-Down, definitely, 100%. It's just, obviously, the captain leads the club. He's led the team in every single game, and he's just outstanding.
Sean Kenny-Down, just because of his consistency and his leadership this year, I think has been the difference.
Elliot Minchella. I've Elliot Minchella or Sean Kenny-Down, just for the work rate and the ethic. But they've got the way they play the game, so yeah, either of them two will be happy with that.
Sean Kenny-Dowell, consistent every week, true leader. Elliot Minchella will go close, it'll be one of those two, but Skids gets my vote.
Elliot Minchella, yeah, absolute machine. Always there backing his mates up.
Sean Kenny-Dowell, without a doubt. Captain fantastic, retiring season, not missed a single game. Yeah, that's Skids for me.
Elliot Minchella. Obviously, you've got Sean Kenny-Dowell who's been superb. It's nice to have several players to pick from this year. So I think it's going to be hard for players. Reinald's played well. Sean Kenny-Dowell, of course, our captain, has done a fantastic job.
Well, I think we're pretty happy that we didn't have to make the choice, aren't we, Wellesley? Yes. Okay, Tim, if we can, yeah, share the mic. If you could please reveal who has come in third place.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with this, just from a personal point of view, as somebody who's perhaps a little bit nearer the end of his career than the beginning. This is somebody who's really put the yards in this year. A new name for the night, Dean Hadley.
Sunshine
points really an option here to stab through. Oh, Salford have lost it! That's the boy!
Good evening, everyone. What a pleasure to give this to this person in second place. This man walked my 5-year-old out to Wembley Stadium. He's the chief, the captain, Sean Kenny Dowell.
Kenny Dowell, chance, Rovers are going to go in, Sean Kenny Dowell. They're running it, oh, go on in. Try for the Robins. Contemplating. For Kenny Dowell. Kenny Dowell! Underneath the H's for Rovers!
You don't answer when I call, but I know you.
Andy, before we reveal the winner, if we could pass the mic to Dean Hadley. I have a question for you, Dean. When it comes to the middles in this team, there's plenty of talk about this mental toughness. So for you personally, where does that mentality come from, and what inspires you to play the way that you play?
Yeah, I'm not sure where it comes from. I think it's just within you, really. That's something I've always sort of prided myself on, you know, since being a kid, really, is just work ethic and, you know, always giving my best and being the best version of myself, really.
Is there something or someone, though, that inspires you to go out and do that week in, week out?
I think there's quite a few people, really, but I think, you know, like I just said, it's got to be within you, and I'm quite, you know, I'm a competitive person, and, you know, it doesn't matter what I'm doing, whether I'm on the field or, you know, whatever it might be, I always give my best, and, you know, I compete to win, and yeah, that's about it, really.
And Sean, if you could take the mic for a second, it's going to be a heavy mantelpiece, is that one, this evening. Congratulations on further recognition. You have got a maximum of 4 games left in what has been a glittering career on both sides of the world. If you wanted to take this opportunity, I'd love to hear, from the outside looking in, what a message would be to your teammates at this point.
Well, we just have to, you know, narrow our focus. It's a cliche, but take it one game at a time. We know the things that we need to do really well, that we've been doing all season that win us games, and you know, Willie's been really good at driving those standards, and if we can execute those under pressure in the big games coming ahead, then you know, the world's our oyster.
Sean, Dean, congratulations on your recognition this evening. Please, a big hand as you, Fakan and Tim, take a seat please for me, that'd be wonderful.
That we've all been waiting for, isn't it? It's time to reveal the winner of the Pat Foundation 2023 Roger Millwood Player of the Season Award. Andy?
There's so many worthy people at this club, isn't there? But I think it's a guy that I've seen personally. The work he does around the park is just fantastic, and obviously he's proven it tonight with his earlier award. Elliot Minchella.
Minchella, congratulations. Before we hear from you, let's just take a look as to why you have won this award.
Oh, Rovers going with Minchella! Press ball. Minchella, Demison goes. Pape, can't wrap him up. Minchella, Parcell, he's got men on support. Delays the pass. Minchella is accelerating towards the line. That's the start the Robins wanted.
Elliot, many congratulations. It's already been quite the season, and I know you're a student of this club and the history of this club, so what does it mean to you to win this prestigious award?
Yeah, I think just want to say thank you, and I'm very grateful. Obviously, it's named after, like Jenna said, the club's greatest ever player, so you know, there's a sign up there which has got some illustrious names on. I was looking at it earlier, so to put my name up there, you know, with some players who've won it previously, something I'm very proud of, and yeah, very grateful.
I'm going to set a challenge for you right now. I don't want to hear another teammate's name for this next question. Elliot Minchella, why do you think you've won that award?
I'm not sure. Probably consistency. I think at the start of the year, I actually had a really difficult start to the season. Me and Willie had some very tough conversations based on my game, and you know, new coach coming in, it was a difficult period for me, but I had to adapt and do things that he wanted me to do to stay in the team. You know, I found myself out of the team at the start of the year, and yeah, just to take feedback on board, go away, work on myself, and just be the best version of what, you know, I can be and bring to the team. And you know, I think I've done that, and I think me and Willie have got a really good relationship because of that. And yeah, I've had a really good year and really enjoyed it. Being around the boys, we speak about connection, and like Sam luckily said, everybody's your best mate. You can go for a coffee with anybody, or you know, there's no cliques in the team. Everybody's just best friends. So it's there's no arseholes or dickheads.
What you've spoken about there is personal development. I remember you saying when you signed here in 2020, you vowed that you were going to make the most of your second chance at a crack at Super League. I mean, obviously the fact that you're standing here with that award in your hands is proof that that's ongoing. But is that continuous personal development and willingness to listen something that's evolved in you?
Yeah, definitely. I think having setbacks in your career well, for me personally, it just drives me on even more. You know, injuries and dropping down levels and things like that just motivate me. And even, you know, a new coach coming in, you start again, you start fresh, and you've got to learn what the new coach wants you to do again. And yeah, that's just how it went at the start of the year. But I think I'm probably playing my best rugby I ever have under Willie. So yeah, he's been great for my career. And this year I've had a good year, but we're not finished yet. You know, we've got, like you said, hopefully 4 games to go.
Yeah, okay. That leads me nicely into my question. Hopefully 4 games to go. How does the season end for Hull KR?
Yeah, I think Skid's nailed it. Taking 1 game at a time. You can't look too far ahead. We've got Wakefield on Friday night, and then yeah, looking at Lee the week after. You know, we're going to play them regardless of what happens. So just 1 game at a time. Prepare as well as we can, and everybody from 1 to 17, 18, giving 9, 10 out of 10 performance, and we'll be all right.
You don't go to bed every night thinking about Old Trafford?
No.
Really?
No.
Willie,
No.
do you? Yeah, he does.
No, it's something I want to be a part of, but I have to switch off as well.
So, Andy, thank you very much for doing the honours. Ladies and gentlemen, for one more time, please, can we be upstanding for the Roger Millward Player of the Season for 2023, Elliot Minchella.
Did you find the time to a friend in the summer? Or was it out of choice? On a list with the others? When the sun sets.
What a night. Thank you all so much for having us for a second year running. We hope you've enjoyed yourselves as much as we have.
Now, for our final contribution, clapping takes a long time, right? So I'm just going to ask for quick, sharp cheers, okay, when I go through these. A huge congratulations to the winners. Thank you to everybody behind the scenes in planning and delivering what has been a great evening. Thank you to everybody at the Doubletree Hilton for their hospitality this evening. And thank you all for being such great company tonight.
And finally, we will leave you with something to whet your appetite ahead of the playoffs with all eyes, especially Willie's, on Old Trafford.
Oh, there we go.